Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Ranking Member Chairman. And thank you both for being here today. We have learned about the Fair Chance Act, legislation that seeks to ban the box and give previous criminal offenders the opportunity to interview for positions with federal agencies and contractors. I strongly believe in giving people a second chance. During my time in the West Virginia legislature, I was a proponent for justice reinvestment and fought for years to ensure that it was implemented. The opioid epidemic in my state has created thousands of nonviolent offenders who, once they are clean, need assistance and the tools to re-enter their community. Reducing recidivism is only possible if we give people those tools and the opportunity to succeed. To accomplish this, we should focus on promoting ex-offenders through rehabilitative certifications and connecting them with the many jobs that seek to hire ex-offenders. Employment is one of the most important factors in reducing recidivism. Although the Fair Chance Act is written with good intentions, I think a GAO study on the effects of the policy is needed before we can move forward in good faith. Ms. Harris, what protections are put in place for federal contractors who hire those with a criminal history, giving ex-offenders a second chance? Is there anything in the Fair Chance Act that protects contractors from increased liability, insurance, or other issues that might arise from hiring ex-offenders?
Again, I think the premise of the question is a little bit troubling. We've not seen these issues across the country with any of the employers that we've worked with who've hired ex-offenders. So when we talk about liability issues, it's just been very rare that employers have had a negative experience with fair chance hiring practices or with hiring formerly incarcerated individuals.
I agree.
Okay. Is there evidence that ban-the-box legislation actually helps those with a criminal history join the workforce, or do hiring managers use other factors to weed out those ex-offenders, such as race and gaps in employment?
I would just refer to my previous testimony on my experience in hiring in government employment. And I also wanted to note a statistic sort of coming at the question from a different direction. I know we're talking about the impact of ban the box, but the impact of not giving employment opportunities to individuals with records. And I'm referring to a letter that should be in the record from the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights, the National Employment Law Project, and the ACLU. And I'm a conservative strategist.
Make sure you're answering my question, please.
Yes, ma'am. And it states that economists have estimated that the U.S. GDP was reduced by as much as $78 billion in 2014 alone due to the poor job prospects, rather, of formerly incarcerated individuals. So that's coming at your question a bit of a different direction, but we are certainly seeing a very negative impact on our economy.
I just want to make sure that we aren't using it as a tool to weed out people as opposed to hiring them.
No, in fact, it weeds out people when they're filtered by criminal history in the hiring process.
Ms. Hodge, are there limits on ban-the-box legislation so that perpetrators of violent crimes are not employed by the federal government?
Not to my knowledge. But there are, I think I have to go back to one thing, which is we're not forcing anyone to hire. This is really about when is this information disclosed. And employers can continue with their traditional practices of running background checks and gathering all the information that they need to make a decision. So this is not forcing anyone to hire. It's just when will this information be disclosed?
Considering my history and working very hard on this subject, I just want to make sure that whatever legislation is put forward does not actually have the reverse effect on what we're trying to do, which is give people tools to become good citizens and feel good about themselves and be productive. Thank you.
Thank you.